I love things like this, so hopefully you guys will enjoy my story. Um, Sitting there on this Sunday, which I'm almost positive either it's today or it's 2 days from now. I don't remember which. It's one of those two. I think it's today. That's my father's birthday. Um, I was sitting there thinking like, there's some stuff I got to get done outside, but I just need that little push to just kind of knock you over. And I said, you know what? Screw going out there and killing myself to do all this dumb shit. I'm gonna put something to the test. And what it was is that I don't know if you guys have heard about this homemade weed killer. Um, I just applied it, so I can't speak for if it works or not. Um, but it's supposed to be a gallon of white vinegar, 1 cup of salt, and 1 teaspoon of dish soap. And you shake the shit out of it, and then whatever you spray it on dies. And so I said, okay, let's go put this to the test. But I'm out of vinegar. Put my shoes on, go drive up to the grocery store. I'm almost there. I passed the last light before I have to get to the next light to make a left. And this dude out of nowhere just cuts me off. There's no one behind me, but I'm going, dude, you couldn't like be at least a decent person and go behind me rather than trying to wedge yourself in between two cars. Sure enough, where does he go? Same goddamn spot I'm going. And I don't know if you're like me, but if someone does something like that to be an asshole, I want to see who it is. I just want to see your face. Not like I'm ever going to remember it again, but I just want to see it. And he did not pay a single bit of attention to me. And I'm just kind of going, you prick. And so I'm wearing my Megadeth Lamb of God shirt. And I go and grab my car and I turn around and this old black man's pointing at me. He goes, those are some good groups, but ain't none of them Zeppelin. And I wish I could have seen Zeppelin live. I would have loved it. He goes, saw him live in 75. I immediately shook that man's hand, going, that's insane. Just the beginning of this conversation, which most of the time, whenever I show people Lamb of God or Megadeth or Cannibal Corpse or Infant Annihilator or whatever, there's like, that's just noise. That's not music. But the fact that this old dude recognized the groups that I had, at least just from the front, I don't know if he read the groups from the back, that there was also Hatebreed, which I don't know why they didn't go on after Trivium instead of before them. But that show was great. And having this type of conversation based off of the shirt with someone I would have never expected it to was already elevated to a level of, holy shit, this is awesome. And then he tells me he sees Zeppelin in 1975. Bruh. I had to. I said, that's one hell of a claim to fame, man. That's not the same claim to fame I have, but I only really have one good one. He goes, what's your claim to fame? I said, well, I had this shirt, and I called it my concert shirt. And on my concert shirt, on the front of it, it says there are two people fucking on the back of this shirt. And on the back of the shirt, it has a picture of Jesus, like, laughing his ass off. And it just says, just kidding, believe in Jesus. Shirt makes no sense, but I find it to be absolutely hilarious. And I want to say it was Mayhem Festival 08. Maybe 09, but I don't think it was after 2010. Even though I did see, I think at least 2, if not 3 iterations of Mayhem Festival. And I don't remember who it was that I was in between while they were tearing one stage down and getting ready to strike up the next one. And I just decided to go roaming around. And I found Dimebag Darrell's merch booth. And I keep thinking it was called like Get Ya Pull. But apparently that's not the same thing, but it had a different name. I remember the camouflage canopy. And the entire day I've had people tell me, turn around, so they could read the front and back of the shirt. Like, dude, that shirt's awesome. I got so many high fives. It was great. But this, as I'm walking up to the booth, the lady behind the booth goes, turn around. Yes, ma'am. I turn around, turn back around again. She starts laughing. She laughs all the way back to this Craftsman toolbox, one of those tall, like 5.5, 6 foot tall ones, to where someone like me could slightly shrink and hide behind it. She opens up a drawer, reaches in, closes the drawer, and walks out and holds her hand like this. I'm like, all right. So I put my hand out. I feel two little bloop bloops just hit the palm of my hand. I look at them, and it was 2 Dimebag Darrell guitar picks, one purple, one green. Or no. Yeah. One's purple. The other one's either green or black. It's been years since I've seen them. But I was like, holy shit, that's great. And at that moment, I look up and I take a good hard look at this woman who was directly in front of me that's still giggling from reading my shirt and sees the excitement on my face. And it's none other than Rita Haley, Dimebag's widow. People don't believe the story. I'm going, no one else was there. I've gone to more concerts by myself than I've gone to concerts with other people. So hardly anyone believes that story, but I swear it's 100% true. And he goes, that's a pretty good claim to fame, though. I said, it is. But seeing Zeppelin, that's even better. And I shook his hand again, thanked him for the conversation, and I took off in the grocery store to go get my vinegar so I could go kill some damn plants. And as I'm going to the self-checkout, I just kind of go, you know, that dude was being a prick and kind of stormed on my day. And then that conversation with that old dude, just trying to imagine seeing like Moby Dick being played live. I would have loved to have seen John Bonham play a drum solo live. That would have been incredible. I've seen Joey Jordison where he did the whole thing where it comes up like this and then starts to turn while he's doing his drum solo. I've seen that live. That was amazing. But it wasn't Bonham. But that was like insane. And I was 100% for it. And so I said, you know what? Screw it. I know it's in a different container. Hang on, let me get your proof. This is the first time in about 6 to 7 years I've had a Dr. Pepper. And I put it in here so it's like colder longer. Man. But it's stories like this that I absolutely thrive on. Hearing other people tell stories like this, like, what? It's those things that there's no way you could have actually thought to put that together. But once it happens, then it becomes part of your own personal memory bank, lexicon, lore, history, whatevers. And it was just really, really incredible. And yeah, I did my 32 ounces because it didn't have any gallons. Apparently other people are trying to do the same thing. I'm like, 32 ounces. It's a start just to see if this shit works. Maybe I'll order a gallon of vinegar off of Amazon if this stuff starts to actually work off. But the little spray bottle thing that I was doing by hand, that sucked. But you work with what you got. And this Dr. Pepper is my reward for not losing it with that dude, not getting all pissed off, not confronting him, having an amazing conversation with someone I would have never expected to have that type of conversation with, and a mutual respect on a musical level that most of the time I don't get, except for other people my age or slightly younger. So, yeah, it was Dr. Pepper kind of day. Just thought I'd share.